Hello, good morning. This is GSR Kalyani from CRR College for Women Eluru. Today we are going to discuss the next unit, structured query language. In that, uh, we are going to discuss the topics history of SQL, SQL data types, and SQL commands. Okay, what is SQL? SQL means structured query language. It's a declarative declarative language, and it is belongs to the fourth generation language, fourth generation database languages. Okay, so in this language, just we specify what must be done, no need to specify how it is to be done. Okay, let's discuss the history of SQL and various data types and what are the commands available in SQL. Actually, this is the fundamental foundation language for all relational databases. Okay, so by using this language, we are going to maintain data in the tables in the databases. Okay, let's start. SQL. SQL is abbreviated as Structured Query Language. It's a standard for relational database management system. This is a non-procedural or declarative language, and it belongs to the fourth generation database languages. It provides very flexibility to the both user and the designer also. Okay, and this language is used for storing, manipulating and retrieving data in the relational databases. Okay, with the help of this language we are going to maintain data within the databases. Okay, like tables, creation of tables or creation of various data objects, and inserting data, updating data, manipulating data, and retrieving the data, and deleting the data. Okay, so various operations we used to perform by using this language. Okay, there are so many products are there. All are DBMS products like MySQL, MyAxis, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres and SQL Server. For all these languages uses SQL as standard database languages. Okay, coming to history of SQL standard. In 1970, EF Code of IBM released a research paper on a relational data model known as a relational model of data for large shared data banks. Okay, so as a impact of as a development of a code's research paper, one project was developed in late 1970 by IBM Joe's Research Laboratory in California. That project was called as System Or project. Okay, actually this project was developed to prove that the relational data model was implementable practically. Okay, so actually the outcome of System Or project was the development of a SQL or structured query language, which is a standard language for relational database management system. Okay, and the system or project development language is called as SQL. Okay, uh, which is chosen as a relational database language for system or. Okay, and this version, the version of SQL, the version of SQL was developed at IBM San Jose research facilities and tested with college students. That means so many versions were developed in SQL. Okay, and this SQL was renamed as SQL during this project, which took place from 1974 to 1979. Okay, actually in 1976 various specifications for SQL 2 was published, and in 1980 minor revisions were made to SQL and was renamed as SQL. So why? Because SQL had already been used for SQL. That name had already been used for some hardware product. That's why SQL was renamed to SQL. Okay. And the first commercial relational database management system product from IBM was SQL DS. Okay. It was available in 1981. Okay. And before SQL DS, Oracle from relational software, now it's called as a Oracle Corporation, was on the market. Okay. And along with the other products or were available in that market, like Ingress from relational technology, Sybase from Sybase, okay, and DGSQL from Data General Corporation in 1984, like that. And in 1983, IBM released a second SQL based DBMS product called DB2, okay, which ran under the MBS operating system, and the DB2 quickly gained widespread popularity also. Okay. Uh, So SQL as a relational database language for their DBMS concurrently with the IBM. Okay, and later on the SQL was standardized by ANSI and ISO. For every product, for everything, there should be having a standardization. Okay, likewise the SQL language also standardized by ANSI and ISO. ANSI means American National Standard Institute, and the ANSI SQL standards were published in 1986, and also those ANSI SQL were updated in 1989, 1992, and 1999 also. Okay. This structured query language is a declarative programming language used for storing and managing data in DBMS. Okay, and it was the first commercial language introduced for F-Court's relational model. Totally, today almost all RDBMS uses SQL as a standard query language, standard database language. Okay, already I told you, for all RDBMS relational database management products, the SQL as a standard database language. And it allows you to SQL allows you to create database and database objects and table structures, and performing some operations like insert, delete, modify. Okay, and to perform some complex queries to transform the raw data into useful information. Okay, and the main advantage of this standardized SQL language are reducing trained costs, enhanced productivity, and application portability. Okay, this is the summary of history of SQL. In 1970, EF Cord develops relational database concept, and 74 to 79 system R with the SQL. Okay, later renamed as SQL, created at IBM Research Lab. And in 1979, Oracle markets first relational DB with SQL. And in 1981, SQL DS first available DBMS system on DOS operating system, and also other softwares, other RDBMS products were also followed, like Ingress, IDM, DGSQL, or Sybase. And in 1986, ANSI SQL standard released, and major ANSI standard updates were released from 1880 from in 1989 to 2008. Okay, currently SQL is supported by many database vendors. Okay. Coming to the data types in SQL. Okay, already we know that. So in relational data model, the database is nothing but collection of tables. Okay, the table is composed of intersection of rows and columns. It's a two-dimensional structure which is composed of row and column. Okay, so first of all, when you create a table structure, okay, you have to specify the table name, and also you have to specify the data type for each column's data. Okay, so and that means you have to specify which type of data you are going to store in each and every column. Okay, that means when you create a structure of table, you have to specify the table name and also column names. Along with each column, you need to specify the data type, for each the data type for each column. Okay, so what is data type? A data type defines what kind of value, what kind of data you're going to store in a particular column. Okay, so for that purpose, likewise, many other languages, this Oracle SQL also provides a number of built-in data types. Okay, so by using these data types, we used to specify the data type for each column in a table. Coming to the SQL data types. Okay, so there are so many types of data types. Actually, what type of information we are going to store in each column in a table? Okay, normally, generally, we are going to store character or string data type, characters or numbers. In numbers, we are going to store either integer numbers or decimal numbers, or like float fractional numbers. Okay, and also we used to store date type of data. Okay, and we used to store videos, pictures, photos, images, like that. Okay, so for there are SQL data types, there are several built-in data types are there. The first is first character data types. First we will discuss character data types. Okay, the character data types are used to store character values in that particular column. Okay, there are two data types. One is char. Okay, char means it is used to store fixed length characters up to 255 characters. Okay, so what is the syntax? What is the syntax for that, for this data type? So coming to just see the syntax. First of all, you have to write the column name. Okay, column name uh, should not have any spaces. Okay, and next you have to write the character data type, char, and you need to pass the size as a parameter. Okay, here the size indicates the number of characters. Okay, so number of characters allowed, the size indicates. Okay, so just see this example. Name, column name, chara for 10. In this column, we used to store how many characters? Only 10 characters. Okay, like address, character of 20. That means in that address column, we used to store how many characters? 20 characters. And one more thing is, it's a fixed length character. It allocates fixed length memory. Okay, that means depending upon the size you declared with the data type, for every name, that much of space will be allocated by the system itself. Okay, if you use or not, fixed size of memory will be allocated for each column value. Okay, So that's why it's a fixed length data type. Okay. And coming to varchar2 or varchar. So it is used to store variable length characters data. Its size can be from 0 to 65,535 characters. Okay. So what is the syntax for this? Column name and varchar2 of size. Okay. The column name, first you have to write the column name. Next you have to write the varchar2 data type and size. That means the number of characters that should be allowed for this column or to be specified as a size as a parameter. Okay, just see this example, name varchar2 of 50 characters. Okay, so in column for every value 50 characters memory will not be allocated. Okay, so how many number of characters you have in that each column value? Only those memory will be allocated. Okay, so that's why memory will not be wasted here. So what is the difference between the char and varchar? Okay, char means it's a fixed length character data type, memory will be wasted. Okay, so whereas in varchar2 it's a variable length data type, that's why memory will not be wasted. Okay, coming to the numeric data types. Okay, numeric data types are used to store integer values and also floating point numbers. Okay, that means this data type, number data type, is used to store 0, positive, negative, fixed and floating point numbers, integer numbers. All type of numbers will be supported by this numeric data types. Okay, for that purpose we used number data type. Okay, there are two forms of number data types. The first form is number of p. Here p is nothing but precision or number of digits in a number. Okay, p indicates the number of digits in a number. Okay, in a column. Okay, it is used to store integer data. Okay, without floating point, without fractional part. If you want to store only integer numbers, then we used this data type number of p. Okay, so just see this syntax. First of all, you have to write the column name. Next, you have to write the number data type number, and you need to mention the size. Here, the size indicates the number of digits allowed for this particular column. Okay, just phone, it's a column name and data type is number and 10. That means this phone column, in phone column, it allows up to how many digits? 10 digits. Okay, for in each cell it allows 10 digits in the phone column. Okay, and the second form of number data type is number p comma s. Okay, okay, p is nothing but precision and s is nothing but scale. Okay, p indicates the total number of digits in a number, including uh, decimal, including digits after the decimal point also. Okay, yes, the scale indicates the number of values after the decimal point. Okay, and the precision can range from 1 to 38 and s can range from minus 84 to plus 127. Okay, so what is the syntax for this? First of all, you have to write the column name and you have to write number. Okay, and not only the size, you have to pass two parameters p and s. Okay, just to see this example, the percentage. So percentage number, percentage, in percentage, here actually in percentage there are what is the maximum value for the percentage? 100.00. Okay, that means how many digits you want to store? totally you want to store 5 digits. Okay, in that 5 digits there are two values after the decimal point. Okay, so here the 10 comma 3 is wrong. In percentage we have to declare the percentage column data type as number with the size 5 comma 3, 5 comma 2. Okay, coming to the date data type. Next data type is date data type. It is used to represent the data in the Julian date format, DDMON, YYY format. Okay. Uh, it varies from January 1, 4712 BC to before Christ to December 31, 9999 AD. Okay. So for each data value, Oracle stores the century, year, month, date, hour, minute, and second information also. Seconds informations. Okay. And what is the syntax for this? Okay. First of all, you have to write the column name simply. Then you have to write a data type date. Okay. Here, no need to specify the size. No size with this data type. Okay. Coming to example, date of birth, date, high date, date. Okay. Like that. Next data type is timestamp. Timestamp, it is an extension of date data type. Okay. And it stores the date in DD, MY and YY with the time HH, hours, HH, SS, hours, minutes and seconds format. Okay. So the timestamp data type is used to store both data and time. And it allows to store additional information such as fractional seconds with the time zones. Okay, especially the time zones. If you want to refer the time zones, if you want to represent the time as per the time zones, you need to use a timestamp data type. Okay, otherwise you go through the date data type. And coming to next data type, LOB types, large object data types. LOB types. There are so many LOB types are there. One is BLOBLEN. It's a binary large object. It is used to store large binary data and unstructured binary data also. And it goes up to 2 power 32 minus 1 bytes or 4 GB. Okay. Actually, this data type stores values in the form of binary streams. Using this data type, you can store files like videos, images, GIFs and audio files. Okay, it's the purpose of BLOB data type. And coming to CLOB data type. Okay, so CLOB means character large objects used to store large textual data. Okay, so it ranges up to 2 power 32 minus 1 bytes or 4 GB. Okay, and this data type stores values in the form of character streams. So using this, you can store text files like PDF documents, Word documents like that. Okay. And coming to NCLOB, it is used to specify single byte or fixed length multi-byte national character set data. It ranges up to 2 power 32 minus 1 bytes or 4 GB. Okay, which are used to store huge character data in the database. And coming to binary file B file, it is used to store unstructured binary data outside the database. Okay, that means in the external file. It ranges up to 4 GB. And coming to raw of size, it is used to specify variable length raw binary data. it is up to 2000 bytes per row, and its maximum size must be specified. And this raw and long raw, those data types are used to store graphics, sounds, and documents or arrays of binary data. Okay, long raw, it is used to specify variable length raw binary data. It ranges up to 2 GB per row. Okay, both raw and long raw are used to store graphics, sound, documents, or arrays of binary. Okay, so Oracle divides SQL statements into various categories. Okay, depending upon the functionality of commands. Those commands are grouped into or categorized into 5 types. Okay, so one is DDL and data definition language commands, DML data manipulation language commands, DQL data query language commands, data control language commands, and transaction control language commands also. Okay, so first coming to the DDL, data definition language commands. So what is DDL? Actually, DDL, data definition language, actually consists of some SQL commands. Those can be used to define the database objects, okay, or the database schema. Those objects means tables, views, indexes, like that, triggers, stored procedures, stored functions. Okay, so whatever database object or database schema you want to create, you go through the DDL commands. Okay, not only the create, if you want to create and also modify the structure of database objects in the database, just you go through with the DDL commands. Okay, and these commands are DDL commands are executed or auto commit in nature. What is auto commit in nature? Okay, actually whatever changes you have made to the table of data of tables in the databases, those can be done in the SQL buffer. Okay, later on those changes are applied permanently to the database. Okay, but whereas in DDL commands, where if you perform the DDL commands, those are auto commit in nature. That means automatically those changes are saved permanently to the databases. Okay, and coming to the DDL commands, there are 6 commands are there. One is create. Create is used to create the database objects like tables, indexes, functions, views, stored procedures, and triggers. These are the database objects. Okay. Okay, all these objects are to be created by using one command. That command is called as create. Okay, and next one is drop. Drop is used to delete the objects from the databases. Okay, so if you don't want the object created by you, then you need to delete those objects from the database's memory. That's why the drop command is used. Next one is alter. Alter command is used to alter or modify the structure of the database. Okay, so that means whatever database object you have created, if you perform any modifications on the structure, okay, just you use alter command. And coming to truncate command, so truncate means used to remove all the records from the database objects like table, okay, including all spaces allocated for the records or removed. Okay, and next one is comment. Comment is used to add comments to the data dictionary. Okay, data dictionary is nothing but it's a data about data or system catalog. It contains descriptions or characteristics about the data in the databases. Okay, and coming to the rename. Rename used to rename the objects existed in the databases. Whatever database objects you have created in the database, if you want to change those names of database objects, just use the command rename. And coming to the DML language. Okay, so once You have created database objects like tables by using the DTL commands. Next, you have to insert the data into the table, or you need to modify the data into the data from the table, or you need to delete data from the table, okay, or you need to retrieve the data from the table. Okay, that means whatever operations you have performed, whatever operations you want to perform on the database tables data, you go through the DML language commands. Okay, and those of course, and the main advantage using DML commands are, if there are any unnecessary changes were made, those changes were rolled back. Okay, it's not auto committed. Okay, permanently not saved to the database. Of course, whatever changes you have done or only applied in database buffers. Okay, so whenever you save those changes, then only those changes are reflected to the original database objects. Okay, so DML commands include insert, update and delete. And insert command is used to insert data into the table, and update command is used to update existing data within the table. Update means modify. Okay, if you want to change, if you want to make any changes in the existing values in the columns in the tables, then just you go through the update command. And if you want to delete records from the database tables, then just you go through the delete command. There are three commands: insert, update and delete. Okay, and coming to the DQL, of course, uh, in so many works, this DQL select command is also included in as a DML command. Of course, DQL means data query language. It consists of only single command. Okay, that command is known as select. Select command is used to retrieve the records from the database tables. Okay, so whatever records you want in your format, in which format you want, you can retrieve the rows or columns from the database tables by using the select command. So select command is used to retrieve the data from the database tables. And coming to DCL, data control language. So data control language means mainly these data control language commands are operated by DBA. DBA means database administrator. Okay, these commands mainly deals with the rights, permissions and other controls of the database. Who have seen the database, who have log on to the database, who have permission to access the table, who have a right to insert the data into the table, or who have permission to delete the data from the table. Likewise, all the permissions and all the rights and other controls are to be provided by the DBA to the users or employees. Okay, so for that purpose, there are two commands. One is grant and next one is provoke. Okay, grant means giving accessing privileges to the database. Okay, that means providing privileges or rights to do operations on the databases. Okay, and coming to revoke. Revoke means withdraw users access privileges given by using the grant command. Okay, and next coming to TCL, transaction control language commands. Okay, so it's purely related to the transactions in a database. What is transaction? Transaction is nothing but a single operation or multiple operations to complete an action. Okay, so whatever actions you have done in the database, maybe you can roll back those changes or commit the changes to the database. Okay, rollback means undo the changes and commit means saving the changes permanently to the database. Okay, there are two operations here we are doing in TCL. One is saving or one is undo the changes. Okay, so for that purpose there are three commands are there. One is commit. Commit means it saves all the changes, whatever changes you have done in the buffer are reflected to the database tables permanently. And coming to the rollback, so rollback means if unnecessary operations, if you done unnecessary operations or if you done unnecessary deletions from the table, then you need to cancel the previous operation you have done. Okay, so that's why for that purpose rollback. Rollback means it's undo the changes. Okay, and coming to the save point. Okay, so save point can be used in the rollback operation. So sets a save point within the transaction. Okay, so by using the save point you can roll back, so whatever operations you want to cancel them. Okay, for that purpose save point sets a save point within the transaction. Okay, for a transaction you need to set some save points based on by using these save point names. Just you undo only that operation only. Okay, you need not to undo all the operations you have done. So whatever operation you have done with the help of save point, just that operation only you need to undo. Okay, so it's a summary of types of SQL commands: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. Just to go through this diagram carefully. In DDL, there are four commands. Importantly, four commands: create, alter, drop, truncate, and DML insert, update, delete, and DCL grant, revoke, and TCL commit, rollback, and save point. Whereas in DQL, it's only single command, select command. Thank you.